tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
I want you to watch the banks. Banks, like our builder stocks, always late to come to the party, okay? And now the party's starting. So watch the banks. The banks are in deep, deep trouble, and they've been masking these bank stocks big time, okay? And they've been supporting these bank stocks, Powell, the Federal Reserve, because they're in real deep trouble.
That was said. I said that on February 22nd about the banks and I've been saying that even before that. I said on January 16, 2018, the banks were ready to collapse. But here was one of the best calls at all. Steve made this call, told our gang members start shorting the small mid-cap banks, the regional banks, I should say, the regional banks. What a great call that was, because those were the first ones to tank. Here was this call. This was on March 2nd.
CRE, on the other hand, you can add to it short. Okay, short that on Pro 2. You can short it on Pro 1 and on Pro 3 if you want. That's really, really looking like a disaster for regional banks.
Now, he made that call on February. I think it was February 28th, I think it was, somewhere around there. But then it was March, you heard him say, to add to these banks. So we already knew. That's right. It was kind of funny today when you read the headlines, right? One headline, trading halted at 30 banks. But this is the one I got. This one really got me. Bank failure. This size is not seen since 2008. Who could have seen it coming? What are you, nuts? A blind man could see it coming. Are you kidding me? It was no secret what was going on. Silicon Valley Bank, there was no surprise there. If anything, it was the cover-up that was the surprise. Its CEO, its CFO, its CMO. If it was a surprise, wouldn't they have lost money? No, they all walked away weeks before it crashed, knowing it was going to tank. Anyone who understands the consequence of inflation, higher rates, knew before Friday, well before. In 2018, it was over for these banks. It was no secret. They were being duct taped together. Duct taped together. The big red flag came in 2015. And I pointed this out. It was the 7th year of zero rates, 7 years. And Yellen took over the Federal Reserve and raised the rates 4 times the minute she took over. What are you, nuts? 4 times. Now remember, that's 2015. This is 7 years after 2008. 7 years. So she takes over as the Fed, and she comes in and raises 2015. She made one rate hike, 25 basis points. And then 2016, another rate, 25 basis points. A little slow, huh? She's going to knock down inflation. Yeah, right. 2017, 3 rate cuts, 25 points. What are you, nuts? Now, Yellen, by raising these rates even as slow as she did, she identified unintentionally, inflation was raising its ugly head, and we were heading for big trouble. But she mashed it very quickly. She came out, oh, no, don't worry. It's transitory. She kept telling us it's transitory. Transitory.
We've had several months of high inflation that most economists, including me, believe will be transitory.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Transitory. She was masking it. She was lying. She was lying. Oh my God. So then came on February 2018. Okay. Now she's out. Paul comes in, but they transfer her to go to head Treasury, the Treasury Department. Are you kidding me? She's so dumb, but they sent her there. Powell becomes the Fed chair, takes her place. What does he do? The minute he gets into the seat, he raises rates. Again, what's that telling you? Transitory? 4 times in 2018 he raises the rates. That's inflation. He's masking inflation. He was doing the same thing. 4 times slowly, but he was trying to mask it was inflation. And he came out and said the same thing. Oh, it's transitory, it's transitory. Everybody caught on to that word. The fake business news network. Everything was transitory, transitory. What are you, nuts? So here we had 8 rate hikes between 2015 and 2018. The reason why I'm going through this, because I'm telling you, everyone thinks this rally today, by the way, if you're losing money in something and you're getting some of your money back today, grab it. Grab it. In this rally, grab it. If you're losing money and all of a sudden this little rally we're having today, get your money back or a portion of it. Get in there and get it because we are going to go so much lower. We're not even done. They keep masking it. So rate hikes, 8 of them, 2015, 2018, Yellen, Powell. But guess who they had help from masking it? The fake business news network. So between Yellen and Powell, the fake business news network, they lied to the American people, saying inflation was transitory when they knew it wasn't. Worse, there was no mention from Powell, Yellen, or the fake business news network that inflation was so detrimental to our GDP growth, terrible to our GDP growth, wage growth, earnings growth, productivity, rate easing. You're screwed with all of that. Inflation is a horrible thing. You can't just throw inflation away. It takes years. That's why you have to raise rates, not a quarter. You have to raise rates 9, 10 points, one shot. Inflation is so detrimental to all of us. I mean, it hurts everything. And that's why we're going much lower, because they're not fighting inflation to begin with. That's not fighting inflation. They're twiddling with it. But most of all, very detrimental to our banking sector. That's the one thing they didn't explain. See, these guys are just terrible. They lie, they hide everything. The swamp. They don't tell you the truth. They should have came out and said, this is not transitory. We got a real serious problem. Could destroy our banks. And if you destroy your banks, we're in real trouble. Keeps our economy together, the banks. And we can't grow our economy. Our wages aren't going to go up. Our earnings are going to suck. And once productivity stops, we're dead. So we got to raise rates, not a quarter time, but we're going to take one shot right now, one shot, and we're going to move it up 10 points. 10 points, we're going to knock this out. No, they didn't want to do that because they like the inflation. Especially Congress. I tell you this 100 times. Congress loves inflation. Because for inflation, the more inflation, you know all the money we owe China? It pays that debt starts to fall. Inflation starts eating away at the debt because the debt is in dollars. So if we owe them $1 million, all of a sudden, because of the inflation, we don't owe them $1 million. By magic, we now owe them 800. Then we owe them 7, then 6, then 5. They love inflation. And they don't care about Main Street because everybody's in Congress is rich and they got assets. And the more inflation, the more wealthy they get. You think Biden cares? Are you kidding me? He loves inflation. He's doing business with Korea, North Korea, South Korea, China. He loves inflation. What are you, nuts? So I have to laugh today when everyone's treating this bank like, oh boy, what a surprise this is. Well, we had a bank failure. Wait. You wait and see what happens next. I'll tell you when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Cramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
What are you, nuts? Coffee's up 92%. Lumber's up 67%. Heating oil, 60%? Gasoline, 55%? I understand why you guys are telling me raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
The business press is supposed to be telling ordinary people what's happening with business? Apparently nobody noticed anything. In fact, as with the FTX crypto scam, you may recall, self-described financial experts in the media were busy promoting Silicon Valley Bank as a great investment that would last forever. The formerly great but now quite embarrassing Forbes magazine, in fact, named SVB to its list of America's best banks, not once, but 5 years in a row. Here is professional BS artist / dumb person Jim Cramer of CNBC telling his viewers to buy Silicon Valley Bank, even as it was in the process of going under. This is last month.
SVB Financial, don't you want? This company's a merchant bank with a deposit base that Wall Street had been mistakenly concerned about. SVB is the old Silicon Valley Bank. Recently bought one of our favorite research firms, Nathanson, and it's become less dependent upon private equity and venture capitalist offerings. Wait a second. Those dried up last year, they could come back. Long-term private equity and venture capital, they're not going away. Being the banker to these immense pools of capital has always been a very good business. SVB's nearly 40% rally this year is barely a drop in the bucket.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Now remember, and I love the way Carlson, describes it.
Here is professional BS artist / dumb person
dumb person Jim Cramer. He did the same thing with Bear Stearns.
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no.
Now, do you think he's that dumb? Of course not. His job is to make sure, as I've always told you, he gets $5 million a year. They just built a whole new studio for him. I think it was like $2.5 million. They love this guy because you know what his job is? To make sure he creates an illusion of prosperity, optimism, hope, and then he lies. He does this on purpose. He did it with Bear Stearns. Everybody knew what was going on with the banks because the banks had one problem. And that's why this morning 30 banks didn't open. He didn't know that. And here's the problem with the banks. And I told you this before. When the banks are giving you mortgages for 2%, 2.8%, they're not making a lot of money when they lock them in for 30 years. So then what do? They take their deposits, and like dumb arses, they go ahead and they buy treasuries on the long end, 10 years, to get like 2.3%. Who would do that? When you knew down the road that they're going to fight inflation. Anybody would know that. A kid in high school would know that. You wouldn't go out and buy a long-term treasury that pays 2.5% when you know they're going to raise short-term Fed rates to push up yields. You know they're going to raise short-term Fed rates up to 5% from zero. Who the hell would ever go and take and say, I'm going to take my deposit money, I'm going to go buy some long-term treasuries at 2%. That's what they did. These 30 banks that didn't open for trading this morning, that's what they did. Because they don't care. They don't care. You think the officers cared at this bank? Of course not. They all got out before it collapsed last week. 2 weeks. They all take care of it. Nobody cares. So, when you think of Cramer. He's a cheerleader. That's all he is. And Carl couldn't say it any better. So here's what's going to happen. In 2018, it was January 16th. If you recall, I said, this is the end. No more big tech. It's over. Okay? I said, it's over. Now, that's when we had our 2018 crash. That's when we went down for 16 weeks, about 22%. Then right after we hit 16 weeks low, we came right back up 16 weeks, got even, and went and rallied another 54%. And I said to everybody, I said, no, this is it. I said, we are beginning the big crash. It's going to start with the big tech stocks, and then it's also going to be China. Because remember, China is going to be involved with all that, all the interference with the shipyards and all that stuff. So the supply chain. So here's what I said on the 16th. Now, this is January 16th, 2018. I want everybody to mark down this date, January 16th, today. That Phil Grandy said on this date, January 16th, this is the beginning of the stock market crash. The crash will be caused by China, the FANG stocks. So, and I said, and then I remember I sweated it out because that was January. I'm going through February, March, April. Oh my God, now I go through the summer, there's no crash. Just happened to be in October 2018, as we're going into the fall, it started to crash. It went down 22%. 22%. And that started because what we realized that was happening, anybody that's been in this business for a lot of years, that been through all the crashes, you understand what raising rates mean, okay? You understand what inflation does to an economy. There's nothing worse than inflation. That's why you got to get rid of it so fast. So we knew that the banks were in real trouble because the banks for 13 years, up to that November crash, for 13 years, and remember, in November of 2021 is when they cut to zero rates. And we knew then they stopped the inflation. They had to. And that they were going to get killed because they knew, and I kept saying about the banks were buying from 2009 all the way up to November 2022 these stupid 10-year treasuries to try to make more money because they weren't making money on their loans. And we knew that would kill them. That would kill, because when rates go up, they're going to be losing money. And that's what happened. More when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Bill, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Bill's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grandy.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you a fan of the Phil's Gang radio show? Then you should check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
During the Obama-Biden administration, we put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including the Dodd-Frank law to make sure that the crisis we saw in 2008 would not happen again. Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements.
That is not true. In fact, the Dodd-Frank bill, everybody was upset because a lot of the banks that should have been regulated, the big boys, the big institutional banks, were not regulated. They got around those regulations. I mean, this guy is just unbelievable. I mean, he'll say anything. But anyways, so today, here's the deal. Here's what's going on. So everyone knew once we got to 2018 that, and then we had that first crash, we knew it was over. We were getting towards the end. And that's why I said what I did in 2018 January. Then came 2020 crash. Then we knew it was over. But 2020 crash, we still had zero rates, and that was the last hurrah. That's when we had that huge 130% rally because everybody knew it was done. Zero rates were going to be over quickly, and they shut them off right after that rally. Boom, gone. Then the market in 2021 started to come back 38%. It's over 66 weeks. We still can't get up off the bottom, where, of course, as you know, in 2018, it went down 16 weeks, 22%. 16 weeks later, we got our 22% back and rallied 54%. 2020 went down 5 weeks, 31%. 5 weeks later, we got our 31% back and rallied additional 133. 2021, the big tech crash, because when you had when no more zero rates, when there's no more zero rates, it's done for tech. Tech is done. Okay, it's over. The only reason why tech had a 1,200% run since 2008 is because of zero rates, which brought us to a point that we all knew, been in business for years and years, all of us knew that what was going to happen when the rates were no longer at zero. They'd have to stop zero rates at some point. The biggest problem was the zero rates were kept too low for too long. So we knew the minute they stopped zero rates, it was over. Okay, by keeping rates too low for too long, it was going to destroy the banks, because here's why, and why the banks are going to go much lower. Because of what I just said. These banks didn't open up this morning, 30-odd banks, because they know they got the same problem as SVB had, is that when they were trying to make money, when mortgages were so low, they would take their deposits and buy treasuries that they got maybe 2.25 if they were lucky. So now what's happened is every time they have to take liquidity, and this is the other thing, remember I told you the other day, this is being done on purpose. The banks and the government are one. The banks are bubble makers with the government. Two things are social, okay? You have Social Security, that's socialism, and banks are socialism. So after we had this big giant tech rally, after we had in 24 months housing from 2020 to 2022 go up anywhere from 40 to 80%, okay, had all that inflation, they knew they had to stop it. Now that meant once they stopped the zero rates, that all these banks in this country who are buying these 10-year treasuries, when they had to raise money, when the government turned around and said, we got to get these banks to go bust, we got to start another bubble because the prices are too high on homes. If we don't bust the banks, then these prices on homes never going to come down again. The banks will never make money. Remember, banks and housing's the country. Okay, banks and housing's the country. So they decided, okay, once they cut rates, that was the beginning of the end for banks. But that's okay because they always do that. They always do because they support the banks. The government always bails out the banks. So now all these little banks and all these other banks, when you go in for your savings, as long as the government continues to say, I will give you, and they're doing that right now, I'm going to give you over a period of 3 months, 5%. Your banks are giving you over a period of 10 years, 4%. So that's why there's a big run on the banks. That's called crowding out. We talked about it last week. Crowding out is done on purpose to destroy the banks so they can create another bubble with the banks. So all the banks are sitting there, and the 30 banks that couldn't open this morning, they knew if they opened up this morning, that they'd be broke at the end of the day because they'd have to keep selling their treasuries at a loss. At a loss. That's what happened to these guys. SVB, I think they lost $15 million something like $15 million in 2 hours because every time they sold their treasury to take cash to give you your savings money so you could go do what you want with it, they're losing money. So this rally we're having today, do not trust it. Do not trust it. we're going a lot lower. Things have gotten worse, not better. That's why we always beg you, learn how to short. Learn how to short. I mean, think of what Steve did in February. In February, when he made the call, I made a call on a couple banks on February, okay? But he made the best call. He took the ETF KRE, which were the regional banks. Those are the ones that got hit the hardest. Those are the ones. That was the score, because KRE, he knew it was the regional banks that would get torched. It was the regional banks who would get hurt the most. And he had everybody shorting. Everybody's shorting. And then I had I had Wells Fargo short, a couple other banks short. But you got to learn how to short, because you can't just sit there now and go look for stocks that you think are going to go up because these guys are going to tell you. You can't trust them. Remember, the people in this industry are just like Congress, like the swamp. You know, Wall Street is even a deeper swamp, a bigger swamp, a stinkier swamp, a dirtier swamp than the one we have in Washington. They're all one swamp. So now, let's think about the economic headwinds we have. Nobody wants to talk about those either. Since they've been raising these rates on these 10-year treasuries, this crowding out, our sales are contracting. Okay, we've had our biggest drop in our sales, retail sales, in 2 years. Our margins are at the biggest drop in margins in 10 years. Our earnings are at a 5-year low. Our savings used to be 32% of our disposable income. It's 2.2% now. PCE, which is the real measurement of inflation, came in real hot. Remember, 4.7%? They're not fighting inflation. And here's where you know if you're really winning on inflation or not. You measure if you're winning on inflation by looking up at your productivity. If your productivity is in bad shape, that means you have lost. You have lost the fight on inflation. And we lost the fight on inflation miserably. Productivity has dropped so bad. I think it went something like 7 to 4, something like that, but it's really bad productivity. That means we haven't even won one battle, never mind a war. So there's going to be a great opportunity 2 ways. Shorting, like the bank stocks, which we've been doing, and we started those in February. Gold, okay? Now remember, we done great on, we started buying gold and nobody wanted it, and then we started to short gold. Now we got to wait and see what's going to happen with gold. Gold has been going up, okay, in the last week, but is it going to last? Only if they're successful in pushing the yields down, because then the dollar's going to go down and gold will go up. Otherwise, we'll continue to sell short. That's why you got to know how the market works, including how the bond market interacts and gold interacts. That's what we teach here. Join the gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect
consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Want the truth when investing in the stock market? Here's how.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. Listen to my radio show every day because that's where you're going to get the truth. You're not going to get the truth listening to these dopes on Fake Business News Network. The other day, Cramer said, don't listen to the banks. They're giving you wrong information. When he told you to buy Merrill Lynch, remember? And what happened? They went broke.
Get the truth at philsgang.com.
Join my gang, philsgang.com. Get the truth. And also listen to me on my podcast on YouTube and Rumble. That's philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Remember, listen to our show on our podcast. Yes, you can listen to it on YouTube, Rumble, Apple, Facebook. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the banks. Look, in 2018, we knew then, after the 8 rate hikes, there would be more rate hikes. We knew this wasn't even over. And we knew in 2018, inflation, rising rates, strong dollar was going to kill the economy, not just the banks. And it has created all this inflation. We're not even, when they keep saying the battle, inflation, I'm sorry, there's no battle. There's no battle. I mean, they kept raising rates too little. I mean, you got to really get in there and hit them, and that's not what's happening. So the crowding out right now is the biggest problem. When you have your own government competing with the banks and offering them, hey, look, we're going to pay you 5% over 3 months. Leave your bank. They're only going to they'll give you 4% over 10 years. And that's what's happening. People are running to buy treasuries, okay? 3 months, 5%. And and that's why, like a day like today, that they're trying to rally the market, and now it's negative. First, it was up almost 200 points. Now it's negative. What they keep doing is, if you take the 10-year Treasury yield, put it up. The good one is go to CNBC and look at their 10-year Treasury, and you can see it. Watch it during the day as it goes up and down, and you can see them artificially pushing it down. Remember, when they push that yield down, the market goes up, and that's what they've been doing. They've been doing that for 2 weeks now. Every time they've been pushing that yield down, trying to get the market up, but they're not successful. Now, gold, because they pushed that yield down, have been doing it so hard in the last week, dollar goes down, and gold's been going up. But remember, gold, the only thing that you got to remember with gold right now, they're just for a couple of day trade. That's all it is right now. If you're jumping back into your like gold miners or GDX or AU, or you're buying AUY, these are swing trades. We have our members doing swing trades in gold because it's going to go right back down. See, the only reason why these golds have been going up now for 4 days, which we call a swing trade, is because of the artificialness of pushing the yields down. Okay, and because they're struggling so hard to make sure that we didn't break through that 50 and 200-day moving average, the SPY, but we broke through those. The SPY, we went right through the 200 and the 50-day moving average. And the Qs, this was the last one, went through both. And today they're trying to push it right back up above the 200-day, and it's just above the 50 and 200-day where they're crossing, just above it a little bit. But it's not going to last there. That's why all of a sudden you saw today the market was up 200 points to the positive, then 175, then negative, then back up to negative, and now it's negative again because they're artificially trying to push those tech stocks up, because if they know that they stay below that 200-day and a 50-day moving average, they're going to go right through that October low. And they're going to go through the October low. There's not if or when. They're going to go through that October low. And this market's got a long way to go down because the banks are ruined. You know why? Because the banks, they always believe they'll get bailed out. They'll get bailed out. So when the banks saw the interest rate so low, and they said, okay, I'm going to take our deposits, okay, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to go buy 10-year Treasury yields at 2%. They knew, they had to know. I know, I knew it. I didn't even go to high school. I knew that at some point interest rates were going to go back up, had to go back up. We have inflation, for God's sakes. Of course your interest rates are going to go back up. So, and we could see our interest rates, they went from 0 to 4.75. We knew they were going to go to 6. It wasn't like it was a secret. Everybody knew it was going to go up. And that meant the banks were going to get clobbered. Why was this a surprise? It was no surprise at all. So the banks are going to go a lot lower. Your GDX, your gold, just do swing trades on them right now. Don't get locked into those, okay? Don't get my Pro 2 color-coded chart right now, I'm looking at AUI. It's still red. And this is very dependable, my Pro 2 color-coded chart. Newmont. Now, see, not one of them's green. Now, we're doing swing trades on my Pro 1, but Pro 2, we're not buying these long term. We'll be in for maybe 2, 3 days, 4 days the most, unless something changes. What's pushing these down, remember, is the dollar. Okay, I'm sorry, what's pushing these guys up is the dollar's going down. Okay, because they push the yield down, the dollar goes down. So we're getting these little spurts. And I had my members, I call them our experienced members, anybody that has 25% of their portfolio is profits. 25% of their portfolio have to be all profits. That's how 25% of their portfolio, they had to get them through profits. They can take risk-on trades like doing swing trades like on Newmont. We bought Newmont today, okay? It's a good day today, but we don't know if it's going to be a good day tomorrow. It's risk-on. But if you're a member of mine, we tell you do not do it unless you have a cushion of 25%. And sometimes swing trades are very, very profitable. But if you're a new member or a conservative member, which we like our members to be, We told them, do not buy Newmont. Do not buy Newmont. So we always have your hand, okay? So now let's go to now if you go to the bank stocks, okay, like J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs. I mean, Goldman Sachs getting hit hard. All these stocks, you're going to get snapbacks. They're going to do these snapbacks right now. Like us, we're going to take profits. They'll do a snapback. And these stocks are going to come back down even more. A good short is Citibank. Okay, today we got a good shot at Citibank today. We added to our Citibank. It was perfect today. Okay, Citibank. So we're playing our banks. Okay, and we're playing our gold. All right, builders. We're shorting our builders. Okay, those are going to get clobbered. Okay, one of our favorites, we're in KBH right now, is a short. And we had a pretty good day today, but they're snapping back a little bit. And when they snap back, that's the beautiful thing about having the color-coded chart. You'll have confidence. People who don't have the color-coded chart, I'm not just saying this to sell you a color-coded chart. Well, I am. I want you to buy a color-coded chart. But I'm telling you the truth about it. That, for example, take KBH. KBH was at, right now, KBH was at today at $36. It dropped down to $34. Now it's back up to $35. Now somebody's going to panic who's shorting it and get out. What a huge mistake that is. It's just a snap back and a downtrend. And that's what we teach you with the color-coded chart. You identify, is your stock in a downtrend or not? If it's in a downtrend, whether it goes up or down, it doesn't matter because it's not breaking the downtrend. Hold your position as long as it's red. Hold it, and you'll make money as that stock goes down. We have a lot of opportunities there. Energy stocks, all your energy stocks. Energy's going to keep falling. Okay, energy is going to keep falling because what's happening is the economy is getting so bad now, and China's economy is getting so bad, okay, that we're not getting a lot of use right now. Remember, when your economy's oils and everything from plastic bags to lipstick to heart valves, when you have a bad economy, okay, things aren't good. People don't spend money. They cut back. So oil goes down. So again, oil is going to be another great. You can't trade everything. I tell my members that all the time. We have 11 sectors. There's about 4 sectors that we stay with all the time. And out of those 4 sectors, we take the best 6 stocks. And because we know how to sell short as well as buy long, by staying with the same 6 stocks all the time and being guided by a tool, the Pro 2, which has been with us for 22 years, okay? 22 years we've been working on this tool. It works. So, again, all this volatility is in the market. There's a smoothing mechanism if you're just willing to learn. You're not going to make money in a 401k, and the market's going to go down a lot further. I hate to tell you that. But please, join the gang. So make money when the market's going down as well as up. See ya.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.